Hi everyone, my name is Ginger Broderick and I'm the host of the Ginger New York TV show. It is Blast Off Fridays for the Ginger New York show. Join us every Friday afternoon at 2 p.m. It's a great way to start out your weekend. It is February 8th and it's cold outside. We've got the storm Nemo coming in, but we all got into the studio because we're not going to miss a live show. So thank you very much for joining in. We're live every Friday at 2 p.m. We also do live streaming on the World Wide Web. So a big thank you to my friends and family all across the country and the world who tune in every week. So thank you so much. Today, since we are very cold and hungry, because that's what happens during the wintertime, I thought it would be a great idea to bring in my favorite baker. His name is Quinton Bailey from Fluffn'Stuff, and we're going to learn all about his life. And for those of you in the audience, you get to have a sample of the cupcakes. Hey, Quinton, thank you so much for coming in today.
Thank you, Ginger, for having me. Thank you so much.
Thanks for coming in on such a cold and rainy and sleety and slushy day, and you brought some great food for us, so thanks so much.
Thank you, yes.
Yeah, did you have trouble getting into the studio today?
Really, no. I mean, it was a pretty easy commute straight up from Brooklyn to Upper Manhattan.
Okay, great. So no train delays, no water main breaks. That happened in my neighborhood last week. You know, we had a water main break over by the Flatiron District, so it caused some interruptions. So, but I would think that, you know, with the weather today, it might be a little difficult for everybody. But it's cold. So thank you so much for bringing in some food for us too. Can't wait to after the show that I get to have a few pieces of that cupcakes that you have out there. Do you remember how we met, Quinton?
Yes, it was a few years ago at the Blue Note. We were going in to see a midnight show of Jeremiah Hosea's band.
Actually, you know, he's playing at the Blue Note this weekend.
Really?
Yeah, Danny G. That's how we met, through Danny G at the Blue Note Jazz Club 3 years ago. And Jeremiah Hosea, Blue Note Jazz Club Late Night Series. Check it out. We're all going to be there. We've got Swiss Chris on the drums and Jeremiah. Or Jerome.
Jerome Jordan. Yeah,
on guitar.
Awesome.
So he's in a great disco band. Electric Company, oh my goodness. And they're going to be playing at Studio 54, the Underground Studio 54.
Okay.
Coming up in a couple of weeks, yeah. So you're going to go to...
I'm going to try. It's a midnight show. It's kind of late.
Yeah. So tell us how you got started in the bakery business.
Yes. A few years ago, I was going to go to a party at the last minute, and I made cheesecake tartlets. And you know, when I got there, it was a very, very rushed job. And when I went there, everybody enjoyed them, and one thing led to another. You know, everybody kept asking for more stuff, and you know, it got to the point that it was no longer about me, it was about my items I bring in. And at that time, I was just doing cheesecakes, and more and more people were asking, can you make this, can you make that? So it just expanded my repertoire, and yeah.
I just noticed that you mentioned about stuff. Is that how you got your name, Fluffn'Stuff?
That's part of it, yeah, that's part of it.
Oh, isn't that interesting?
The name just dawned on me, and it's like, I'm making so much stuff, and it's like, fluff and stuff.
That's great. And it's a great marketing name, too. Good pickup line. I've heard a few.
I've heard all the jokes. Fluff my stuff. Can I, you know, fluffing and stuffing and yeah.
Oh, yeah. And what was it? Great marketing. You're talking about doing even some T-shirts with that. That's great. Yeah.
T-shirts that say fluff my stuff.
That's a great. I'd wear that to yoga class. And now, how long ago when you said that this happened, this party event?
Almost 3 years ago.
3 years ago.
I'm hitting 3 years.
Doing it.
Yes.
Good for you.
It seems just like yesterday.
Yeah, and how did the business evolve? You know, I mean, how has it evolved since that time? Because I met you right around that time because at Blue Note you brought in some cupcakes.
And that's when I just first started just tinkering in the kitchen at that time.
Isn't that interesting?
But the best I can say how my business evolved, and I look at my business cards. When I first had my very, very first business card, I was like, that was the card. And since then, I've changed the business card over the times. I put logos on it, everything I'm involved in, you know, my skills. I got a website now. I take orders online, you know, so I can actually see that it's a huge evolution from when I first started.
That's great, yeah. And did you just start baking, you know, in the kitchen? Or did you follow recipes, or do you create recipes?
I actually started following the book. And the recipe book, and I find that a lot of customers, they have their own particular taste and flavors. So the basis and foundation, you know, henceforth ginger cupcakes.
Oh, that's right. Wasn't that fun?
That's not in any book. Okay, that's yours. But anybody who has a particular taste or flavor, I just incorporate that, and that becomes their recipe, their flavor.
Oh, is it? And what kind of is the most popular ingredient that you use?
I love fruits. fruits and chocolate. I would say those are the top
Oh,
two.
yeah.
Strawberries mainly.
Yeah, I noticed a cupcake outside that's, dripped with chocolate. Yeah, that was one that I wanted to taste. And then you had another one out there. You said it was sweet and savory?
Yes,
Savory.
I'm also dabbling in the savory industry.
And can you describe what savory means?
Savory basically is pretty much anything that's not sweet. The vegetable, meats.
Okay.
It's,
It's almost a meal within a cupcake.
Actually, it is actually a meal within a cupcake.
Okay.
The savory items I have out there are, I call them Savory 7. I did them for an event a week ago. And it has all the healthy properties that will help with your heart. Tomatoes, lycopenes, cumin, turmeric, green peppers, vegetables, all white meat, turkey, everything in one little cupcake stuff.
And you got that idea or evolved from a yoga teacher, I understand.
Yes,
yeah.
I did. She, Robin Shell Downs. She was doing an event about a week ago, and it was promoting heart.
Okay, healthy hearts.
Healthy hearts. And I did some research, and I was like, well, all the ingredients that could go into a cupcake that's healthy for your heart.
Interesting.
And just incorporate in one cupcake, and it's contagious.
Yeah.
It's delicious.
Well, more and more people are doing yoga, including myself, and I do the hot yoga, the Bikram yoga, and just naturally you want to go towards raw foods, healthy foods. You can't have big portions like when you go out to dinner. I mean, I'm ordering appetizers because I just don't have the appetite. But that you've got a meal right in that cupcake, and it's healthy for you.
And it gives people a second option.
Second option.
As opposed to like, I want a cupcake, like I would
With
get
all
a
the-
different cupcake. And I'm like, it's still a cupcake, but it's like, it's different. It's not a cupcake, but it is a cupcake.
And so you really got into your business by accident. It wasn't something that you were intentionally going into.
No, not at all.
Isn't that interesting?
I felt like, I felt as if the universe has compelled me to do it. And at a certain point, I actually wanted to give up. And, the day I wanted to give up, I actually got like 14 orders that same day. And I'm like, wow.
Because I would say, what's your passion to stay in business? I mean, because really you have to have passion to stay in business, because I've seen where you've posted on Facebook like 3 o'clock in the morning or you're just going to bed at 5:30 in the morning, and then you have a whole day's worth of work to do.
Yes.
That's outside of the baking business.
Yes, indeed. I say my passion is wanting to make people happy. Food, I find eating food is very emotional. And being able to connect that with eating in your feelings. I enjoy doing it. And the passion comes out at 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning when you're sitting there in the kitchen. It's like, why am I doing this?
Do you kind of like have note cards by your bed and wake up with recipe ideas?
I do. I type it in my phone. I do. Notebooks and pieces of paper all over the place.
Because you never know when influence or inspiration is going to come through. Yeah, that's right. What's the biggest challenge that you've had with your business?
I say the biggest challenge I have with my business is customer accountability.
Customer accountability.
Customer accountability. I put it out there that I get back to people within 36 hours. If somebody reaches out to me and says, hey, I would like ABC, I get back to you. Give me some type of information. Get back to me.
Like a confirmation, yes or no, or whatever.
And I find that in this day and age with smartphones and technology, I would think that people are like quick to get back to you in just communication.
So an example would be, hey, I'm going to have a birthday party, and what would be an idea from you? And then you would give me an idea, and then I'm not responding back.
And I'm waiting. Waiting. It just drives me crazy with that, because I get a lot of orders that come in, and it's such a different variance of orders that come in. It could be a cake here, cupcakes here, cheesecake here, biscotti, and just that consideration.
Do people give you much notice on something like that, or is it, hey, I've got a party tomorrow, and
I get both. I get both. I get
okay.
last minute, and I get people who plan events.
Do you price differently for last minute people?
Last minute cake, get last minute money. And that's what I tell people. If you want it at the last minute, that's going to cost you.
Okay, that's good. Good business sense. It took. I'm a CPA, and so I've worked with a lot of different business owners, and it took a while for people to decide if you're going to be last minute wanting this, we're marking it up 100%, because I would think that you have to coordinate all the things, and then you have to do delivery too.
Yes.
And you brought all those cupcakes from Brooklyn, so that's really nice of you. Well, you know what? We've brought some. You brought some photos for us to see, so it would be great if the control room could start rolling in some of the photos that we can tell some stories. Look at this one. I understand this little boy is you.
Yes, that was, I believe, my first or second birthday party. I found this in the old photos in my mom's house, and it was interesting because I have no recollection of this picture at all. And when I saw it, I was like, wow, who would have thought today I'm still doing the same thing I was doing so many years ago.
Looks like you're dipping your finger in the
Looking
icing.
at the cake, yeah. Looking at a cake.
And
Still
you
doing
get
it today.
early inspiration. So, you know, isn't that interesting that, that would be? Do you remember what kind of cake it is? It looked like it might be a vanilla cake.
I don't remember. I know I pretty much probably put my face in it.
That's great. You made a cake for me for a party last summer, and I asked for a chocolate cake, and it came out French vanilla with cherries. I mean, that was over the top. That was a great surprise, and I think that's really important when I might think I might know something, but I left it up to you for your creativeness and your ideas and let it go.
Was that the Swiss Crisp cake?
That's right.
Yes,
That was a,
yes.
that was delicious. What a surprise.
I actually enjoyed doing that cake.
Yeah, and you said you were getting, well, we're going to see a photo like that of some of the designs that you do. So could we see another, oh, look at that one. There's that chocolate strawberry.
Yes, the chocolate and the strawberry, like I said. The chocolate, that's like a chocolate's paradise. In the middle is actually strawberries, and you know, I love using
in the middle of the cake?
In the middle of the cake is strawberry, and the cake itself is chocolate. I do my cakes in such a way that you want to, like you look at it, you want to eat it. You know, the colors are vibrant.
Yeah.
I mean, a good picture, but it's just that it's something like, oh my gosh, I'm this decadent.
Do you take your own photography?
I do
here?
take my own pictures as well.
Good for you. It's great stuff. Look at that. Those are the cupcakes.
Yes, it's a mixture. Those in the middle are the cinnamon apple. You got blueberries, you got chocolate, vanilla with a little chocolate wafer on it, ganache. Yeah.
Oh, isn't that interesting? What's the one over on the right with the whipped cream? That's a different color
That's a strawberry cupcake with French vanilla buttercream.
Oh, wow. That sounds really good. That's really good. You have a lot of different kinds. Let's see another photo, please. Oh, now look at this.
The Indiana Jones cake. I have one of my best friends, he loves Indiana Jones. And I did this cake for him. He just wanted a simple cake, but I spoke to his wife. His wife's like, you know, just make it Indiana Jones theme. That was all they told me.
Isn't that something?
That is all they told me.
Because that's what I wanted. I wanted a chocolate cake, and you brought in this, what I would call an event cake, you know, event or a themed cake. How would people describe this type of a theme?
This is a themed cake.
Okay.
And the interesting thing about the cake, I told him, you know, because I wasn't there when he was lighting up, I said, you know, turn off the lights and light it. That's when the fun starts. And when he lit it up and it's sparking and firing, all along the lines of Indiana Jones. In it, you can see Indiana Jones in the background. There's a cave. There's a box. I say that's about 90% edible, except for the fingerings and the box. But everything on there is edible.
Is there like an alligator or something?
There's an alligator there, a snake.
Where do you get these ideas? I mean, where do you get the the little guys there? Well, I guess there's bakery
I look for them.
accessories?
Yeah, I look for them, and it all depends on what the person wants. So you know, if they say I want Indiana Jones theme, I'm already thinking like as you're speaking to me, I'm already thinking like, oh, what would be really cool? What would be the wow factor for this person for their order for their cake?
Well, for the Swiss Chris, who's a drummer, you had a drum.
That was a serious
set,
wow factor.
You had club chairs, you had a disco ball. I mean, it
Yes.
was amazing, and I'm sorry I didn't bring a photo of that in, you know, to add into this group here. Oh, look at that one.
And this is just a fruit tart.
Fruit
Strawberry
tart,
and blueberry fruit tart with lemon curd in the middle. Very, very simple. And it's a cold dish, so it could be eaten. It doesn't have to be heaten up, so that you can eat this any time of the year, more perfectly during the summer.
Is there a time when you would get a fruit tart versus a cake for a party? How would you decide what to bring?
Depending on this, I would bring in the summer.
Oh,
This is a summery, you know, fresh, cool dish. And unless somebody asks for it, I'll bring it.
Oh, okay. Look at this.
Cheesecake.
Oh, look at all these strawberries. The strawberries are good for your heart,
Yes,
right?
they are.
Skin, yeah.
Strawberry, basic strawberry cheesecake. It speaks for itself.
Oh, strawberries cheesecake. Now, would you have strawberries on the inside of this, or is this more? How do you decide when you have fruit on the inside of a cake?
I actually asked the customer or client, you know, if they say I want a strawberry cheesecake, I said, you know, when I make my strawberry cheesecake, it actually has strawberries inside the cake themselves. And they'll say, no, I just want a plain cheesecake with strawberries on top.
Interesting.
Or they're like, wow, you could put strawberries in it. I'm like, yeah, you could put strawberries in a cheesecake. So when you're eating it, it's like full strawberry blast throughout the whole cake.
My birthday's coming up, March 18th.
Noted.
Hint, hint. Ooh, look at this.
And these are a sample of, you know, the sweet and savory. On the top, you have the apple cinnamon cupcakes with a little heart. This was actually for the event that we were speaking about earlier. But spice buttercream, and those three on the bottom. Those are the savory 7, like I call them. They have everything in them. The ones on the bottom.
Those are some examples of what you brought today too.
Yes.
That's really interesting.
They actually taste really, like I've eaten a couple of them and they're contagious. You can,
oh, yeah.
You can go through the savory very, very quickly.
Right.
Because they're so delicious.
Well, when you came in, do we have any other photos? I think that was the last one. Okay. The after I met you, I started to see you at M&N and bringing in all these different kinds of cupcakes. I mean, a whole platter full of these little mini ones, and by the end of the show, they were all gone. Like, I know I probably had 5 or 6 or 7 or 8 or 9, you know, those little baby ones, you know, but really delicious. Does it take a long time to make those small little cupcakes?
No, actually. I've gotten to the point that I actually like making the small ones because when it comes to those, it's like quick. It's just repetitive.
Okay.
And it depends on
those are
what
great
the
party sizes. You
yes,
know, we
they're
went
very
to a
intimate, small.
We did a book party signing too, and I remember a tray of yours. I see you at a lot of parties.
I get around. And my stuff gets around.
Yeah.
And it's so funny because my stuff gets around more than I do.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And
You
I'll
don't
have somebody.
deliver it?
Sometimes I deliver. I have somebody else deliver for me, but then I'll go to an event and somebody says, "Yeah, I tasted your things at an event 2 weeks ago." And I'm like, "Really?" Like, or they bring it to somebody else, and it's very, very communal, and they share it. So it's just, yeah, it's just interesting. My stuff travels more than I do.
What does separates you as a baker and a cupcake maker and what are you, decorator? What separates you from anyone else that's in the business or thinking about the business?
I'm insane. When it comes to, and I say I'm insane about what I do is just that I'm passionate, and a lot of other bakers share passion too, but it's like I look at it not just the physical work, but it's also emotional, psychological. It's food. At the end of the day, there's a celebration that comes with food. I'm very passionate about what I do because, you know, I actually will get into your brain and find exactly what it is you want. And a lot of times I find that customers don't know what they want. You know, I want sweet. That's it. That's all I know. I want sweet. I want chocolate. Give it to me any way you want, pour it in my throat, but present it in such a way that it's visually appealing as well as something that when you close your eyes, like, oh my gosh, this tastes really good. And it just brings you back to that moment in time.
Yeah. Are you always, you know, like creating, evolving, and doing different spices you mentioned?
Yes.
Cinnamon spice? Yeah.
Cinnamon spice, cinnamon, nutmeg, clove. I do a lot of tastings. So I find that, you know, if a bunch of people say like, oh, I love pineapple and coconut cupcakes.
Oh, interesting.
I'll tweak it a bit to make it taste really, really good. But it's always a challenge to evolve and, you know, give the people what they want.
Was making ginger cupcakes difficult? Because I would think it is, but it was delicious.
I mean, your name's Ginger, and then you said I love ginger. So I was like, how can I make
Ginger
this work?
New York is actually named after a ginger martini. That's a little trivia. Yeah.
And at the time when I made them, I was just like, okay, she likes ginger, you know, ginger. Okay, ginger's a very spicy. You gotta be careful with that. So I was able to incorporate with a particular type of flavor that when you eat it, it's like, oh, it gives you a shock of ginger. That I enjoy making too. So I mean, I find joy in what I'm making, and it's fun. It's really fun when I do.
What's the future for Fluffn'Stuff?
The future for world domination. The future for Fluffn'Stuff. And it's funny I said world domination, but I want everybody to know. You know, you have Intimates, you have all these other high-profile bakers. I want everybody to know about what I do and what I make. Taste it. You know, don't have to pay. I don't even care for pay. Just taste it, and just to be out there.
Do you have any book ideas coming out? You know, any recipes that we can get from Mr. Fluffn'Stuff?
I do, actually. I have a couple of ideas. Creating a cookbook / book on my journey, as well as doing a children's book.
Oh, that's a great idea. Because you also have a puppet that you bring around when you do?
Today. I have a little puppet that I bring on. He's actually my mascot. He's on my business card. He's on my website. Chef Fluffn'Stuff, Mr. Fluffn'Stuff. He's actually on YouTube too.
Oh, that's great.
He has his own personality that's totally separate from mine.
There's a photographer out called Humans of New York. He has a great Facebook page, and he found you at Central Park, wasn't it? Yeah.
I was actually sitting in the park at a cupcake event, and this guy comes running up the hill, and he's like, "Don't go nowhere, stop." And I'm like, okay. I'm sitting with my family, like, okay, guy with camera running towards me. He's like, "I saw you across from the park, sitting here playing with your puppet." And I was like, "I wasn't playing with my puppet. I was doing a show for the kids." Okay. He's like, "Whatever." Yeah, and he took a picture, and the funny thing is, when he posted my picture online, it crashed my website. And I actually thought I had so much bandwidth that day it crashed my website.
Wow. I have not yet contacted him, that photographer, but I want to have him here on the show because he has this great
He's an excellent
book.
eye.
Yeah. Just very entertaining to find him on Facebook and follow him. What are your signature items that you have with your baked goods? Oh, the cheesecake.
Cheesecakes, and right now, and the funny you say it, my signature items, it changes.
Oh,
so
okay.
right now it's the mini cupcakes and cheesecakes. Christmas time it'll be something like cookies. Valentine's Day is right on the corner. I'm finding more people ordering cupcakes and cheesecakes.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, Mother's Day is cakes.
Oh, isn't that interesting?
So it's my signature items changes to the whims of the people I'm working with.
Okay, or the events. You know, that's interesting that on Mother's Day it's cake, and the Valentine's it's cupcakes.
Yes.
I wonder why. I wonder why.
Step on my, I wonder why.
Do you make any chocolate cheesecake by chance?
I do actually make chocolate cheesecake. I made a chocolate mint cheesecake for
chocolate mint.
Chocolate mint cheesecake.
Wow, I've never heard of that before.
For a couple of my colleagues, and it was chocolate crust, chocolate mousse, a light chocolate, a dark chocolate, and a white chocolate.
Oh my goodness.
So it was like several layers of chocolate.
Oh my goodness.
And
was that a cake or a cupcake?
It was a cheesecake. It was a
cheesecake.
cheesecake. And when I delivered to the individual, she was just like, I asked for a chocolate cheesecake. And I showed her. She's like, oh my. And they didn't want to even eat it. They were just sitting there looking at it. Oh. They're like, this is insane.
Can you describe it one more time? Because you were mentioning all these. My brain went out to like sugar heaven. Can you mention that one more time?
The crust was a chocolate graham cracker crust. Dark chocolate layer. Wow. Chocolate mousse layer. A milk chocolate layer and a white chocolate layer. So when you looked at the cheesecake down, you just saw the white chocolate on top. But when you cut into it, you saw the layers. And like I said, when I delivered it and they opened up the box, she was like, wow. And everybody just, I wish I took a picture of that. They just stood there looking at the cheesecake with their mouths open.
And how do you make that? I mean, that it has to be, I mean, you pour it in layers and then refrigerate it and come back and do another layer, or can you do it all at one time?
You can actually do it all in one time.
Oh, isn't that
because each layer has its own consistency and it cooks accordingly. The key is just making sure it's fully cooked, and that's something I find when it comes to cheesecakes. Cheesecakes are tricky, and it may look cooked on the top, but there's a lot going on inside the cheesecake itself.
It's interesting. You actually have to bake a cheesecake? Oh, I didn't know that. Well, I guess you can tell I'm a baker, cook. I'm like working on the crock pot.
You're working on the crock pot? All day cooking.
That's great. Yeah. What are some events that are coming up for you? You know, where people can maybe find some of your foods?
The biggest event I'm having will be next week, February 13th at House of Art Gallery. That's a contemporary art gallery in Bed-Stuy. It's in the heart of Bed-Stuy, of course, and they have jazz shows there every Wednesday. Every second Wednesday of the month. From 7 to 9. The event I'm going to be having is going to be a full tasting event in honor of Valentine's Day. There'll be alcohol-infused items, cake pops, brownies, cookies, cheesecake.
Is it just cupcakes. All you, or is it different vendors?
All me.
Good for you.
I mean, there'll be a wine vendor there, but I'm Mr. I'll be sweet.
Congratulations. Sweet. Congratulations. And where again is this?
It's House of Art Gallery in Bed-Stuy. And actually, the address.
Well, we'll look it up. Yeah, we'll make sure we post it on the website.
But you know, it's open for everyone from 7 to 9. There'll be a live jazz there, roses as well. It may be very, very intimate and special.
Great. And you know, when I was looking at your bio, we were preparing a press release for today, and it mentioned that you were taking, like, you're not formally trained.
Right.
You're self-taught basically, but you also took a lot of chef classes. Can you describe what that means? Is that like a cooking class, or you're actually going to a chef?
I've actually went to IC, Institute of Culinary Education.
What is it?
Institute of Culinary Education on 23rd Street on 6th Avenue.
Oh, that's near me. I've looked at that program.
I took an intense pastry course over there, 2 weeks long.
Because I know that, oh really? Oh, that's true. Because I know that they even have a course on cutting knives and then different kind of things, but they have an intense pastry course. Isn't that interesting?
And
Did you like it?
I loved it. And it kind of fine-tuned and like opened my eyes to the savory stuff. It's like, it's not all about cupcakes and cakes. And it's funny because when I was sitting in class and I told the chef teaching, I was like, you just changed my game completely. He's like, really? I'm like, you have no idea. Like, now you just open up a whole new world of baked goods for me. You know, I've been a grunt to a few chefs, you know, helping them out in their kitchens. And, you know, when I work with somebody that way, I just absorb. You know, you get free labor from me, but I absorb everything you're doing. And I find that, you know, the universe and a lot of people they're okay with that. You know, it's not malicious in learning from them, but it's just, you know.
Well, I think a good mentor is someone who shares knowledge, you know.
Agreed.
You know, and I kind of study improv comedy, and they said, you know, some people want to hold on to their material, but the thing is that you got to throw it out there. Let people know who you are, you know, and when you give out to the universe, I think it comes back to you in very, very positive ways. Well, good for you. Do you have any advice for people?
Two keys things about advice that I have for people is one, don't be afraid to fail.
Oh, interesting.
Don't be afraid to fail. A lot of people get numbed and catatonic about failing, and they get so caught up like, I don't want to do this because I might fail. And they create this story, and it's just a story. You know, if you want to succeed, do it.
Keep trying.
Keep trying, keep trying, keep trying. Second one is commit to your passion. You know, if you're going to be about something, be about something.
Right.
There are going to be days at 3:45 a.m. in the morning, you're just going to look at the calendar and be like, what am I doing?
Yeah.
But those are those moments and times when it's just like, you know what, I'm doing this because, one, it does something for me inside, and I want to keep going with it.
Good for you. Good for you. And to keep trying over and over.
Keep trying.
Yeah, that's great. And then when you hit a brick wall, just keep going on it. Do you ever, are you ever afraid of having a business? I mean, do you have to deal with any irate customers or anything like that?
I've had my share. You know, and my background is, I love customer service, so it's like I give the people what they want plus. So I wouldn't want to get in a situation whereas, you know, it's an angry customer, and I ask the person, what is it that you want? Like, what do you want me to do for you that's going to make this right? Like, I want a free cake. Okay. You know?
We are, oh, that's not great. We are down to our last minute of the show. Can you believe that one?
Wow,
how do people find you? I'm
on the internet, Facebook. I also have a website, www.fluffn'stuff, FLUFFNSTUFF. Also on I'm on Facebook, I'm on Twitter. Like, literally just type in Fluff and Stuff, either Yahoo or Google, and I come up like the second or third hit. Okay,
Fluff and Stuff. People call you Mr. Fluff and Stuff. Yeah. Does it bother you that people call you by your business name versus your real name?
It's so funny because they go, yo, Fluff, hey, Fluff. And it's like, I'm now responding to that now as opposed to my name, and I've made peace with that.
You know, it's so fun to have you here today.
Thank you so much.
Can't wait to finish up the show that we can then go out and have some of those delicious cupcakes. So thank you, everyone. We're down to the last few seconds of the show. And I just want to thank you so much for coming in. Check us out every week. We always have someone really great here to learn about. Thank you so much again, Quinton. Really appreciate you coming in tonight. Good night, everybody.
Good night.